In this video, I'm going to try and distill everything that you will learn in a marketing degree into a 10-minute video, or as close as I can to that. So let's go. So to do this, I wouldn't start with tactics such as meta ads, Google ads, or content. I'd start with 3 decisions that every successful business needs to get right. First of all, who are you trying to reach and why should they choose you? And how will you turn their attention into profitable long-term customers? Let's dig into it. So if you get these right, and almost every marketing channel becomes easier. Get them wrong, and no clever advertising strategy and no budget will save you. I've seen multi-million-pound businesses fail because they don't get these fundamentals right. And I've seen small startups grow aggressively because they've absolutely nailed it. So here is your marketing degree in 10 minutes. Now, my agency, we manage around 200 clients at any one time, completing their whole marketing strategy and also tactical execution across social media, paid advertising, SEO, design, website, and much more. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is that marketing results are rarely decided inside an advertising platform. They're normally decided much earlier at a more fundamental level. They're decided by the audience you choose, the offer you create, how you position your business, and the journey you give someone from discovering you to becoming a customer. So in this video, I'll take you through some of the most important marketing models that you encounter during a marketing degree. So we're going to cover the STP, the 4 Ps, the 7 Ps, AIDA framework, and the 7-11-4 principle. But more importantly, I'm going to explain how they all fit together. So let's begin with STP. Segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Segmentation is the process of dividing a large market into smaller groups of people with similar characteristics, needs, or behaviors. You can segment based on their age, location, income, interest, behavior, circumstances, or the problem they're looking to have solved. For a B2B company, you might segment organizations by industry, turnover, number of employees, or the technology they already use. The important point is that your market isn't just everybody who will potentially buy from you. That's not a useful audience. For example, my agency's audience isn't just every business. Now, we can work with every business providing a range of services, but actually only certain businesses will commission a digital marketing agency to work for them. And if we put out general messaging into the market, nobody would listen. However, if we run specific campaigns that talk specifically to engineering companies, for example, who we know always struggle with their marketing, this gives us a specific problem, a specific audience, and a much clearer message and strategy. Now, once you've segmented your target market, you move into how you actually target these people. Targeting means, how do you get your messaging in front of these audience segments? Simply think, where are their eyeballs? Where do they congregate? Where are they paying attention? Are they on Reddit? Are they on Meta? Do they search for what you do on Google or AI models? Do they read industry publications, etc.? And is that audience large enough? Can they afford what you sell? Can you reach them effectively? Is the opportunity profitable? And does your business genuinely have the right solution for them? I've seen a lot of business marketing fail because they don't fully answer these fundamental questions, and they just rush straight into spending lots of money on advertising, and they waste it. One of the biggest mistakes businesses make is trying to target too many groups at once. They're targeting homeowners and landlords, small businesses, large corporations, budget-conscious customers, and premium buyers all at once. It's mixed messaging. It becomes so broad, nobody feels like it was created for them. Good marketing means deciding who you are not targeting as well as who you are. And the final part of STP is positioning. Positioning is the place you want your business to occupy in the customer's mind, your position in the market. Do you want to be known as the cheapest, the fastest, the most convenient, the most experienced, the premium option, or the local specialist? You can't be all of them. Now, a useful way to develop your positioning is to complete the following sentence. For this specific audience, we are the business that provides this specific benefit because of this specific proof. So instead of saying we're a local garage offering vehicle repairs, you might position the business as the trusted local garage for busy drivers who want transparent pricing, fast turnaround times, and no unexpected bills. Now, that's much easier to build a marketing strategy around. The old one, the first one, is just how you're going to blend into the noise of what everyone else is doing. Once you know who you're targeting and how you want to be positioned, you can move into the 4 Ps of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. The first P is product. What are you actually selling? What problem does it solve? And why should anybody care? Why should people give a toss, you know? The product isn't just a physical item or service, it includes the features, the benefits, the quality, the packaging, the guarantee, and the experience surrounding it. A customer buying a boiler service isn't simply buying an engineer's time, they're buying reassurance that the boiler is safe, reliable, and less likely to break down in the winter when they need it the most. And the second P is price. Pricing isn't just an accounting decision, it's part of your marketing. Your price affects how people perceive the product, which customers you attract, and the expectations they have. Being cheaper doesn't automatically make an offer more attractive. In some markets, a low price reduce trust and make people question the quality of what you're delivering. Your pricing needs to reflect your positioning, the value being offered, your competitors, and most importantly, the margin your business needs to make to be profitable. And the third P is place. This means where and how the customers can buy from you. This could be a physical shop, website, Amazon, appointment booking system, a salesperson, or a combination of several channels. More often than not, it's that. Place is really about accessibility and convenience. If somebody wants to buy but cannot find the product or understand the next step or complete the checkout, your promotion has been wasted. We've seen e-commerce businesses, checkout breaks, marketing fails. And only then do we get to promotion. Promotion covers advertising, content, email, SEO, PR, social media, every other method you can use to communicate with your market. Businesses often start here. They want to rush into running meta ads, posting on LinkedIn, or rank on Google before they've properly considered their audience, positioning, product, or price. But promotion can't rescue a weak offer. We once worked with a company who spent 200 grand on meta ads and barely got anything back. They came to us to rescue their marketing and were frustrated when we first wanted to address their 4 Ps and other marketing fundamentals first. Rushing into ads will only show your weak offer and messaging to lots of people and waste your cash. For service businesses, the 4 Ps are often extended to the 7 Ps by adding process and physical evidence, but I'll cover that in another video. This brings us into how customers move through the buying journey. And one of the best known models for this is AIDA. You might pronounce it differently. I call it AIDA. Attention, interest, desire, action. First, you need to get someone's attention. This could be a strong hook, a recognizable problem, an unexpected statement, or an image or video that makes the right person stop scrolling. Attention doesn't mean shouting as loudly as possible, it means being relevant enough that the right person pays attention. Once you have their attention, you need to create interest, which is where you demonstrate that you understand their situation and you introduce your solution, you give them a reason to keep paying attention. Then you create desire. You show the benefits, you demonstrate the outcome, and provide proof through reviews, testimonials, and case studies, results, or guarantees. Finally, you ask for action. Ask for the sale. Book the appointment, request the quote, buy the product, download the guide, visit the shop, whatever it might be. There should be a clear next step, the call to action, and the customer should understand what will happen after they do the thing that you're asking them to do. Now, AIDA is useful, but it has one major weakness, and it effectively ends when somebody takes action. Now, modern marketing shouldn't stop when the customer buys. You've won the sale, but you should be looking at maximizing the value of that customer with follow-up sales and getting referrals from them. Now, it's always more expensive to convert a cold customer than it is to make someone buy again who's already bought from you. So we have to ensure that the sales process is slick, their experience with you is top-notch, and that you have wider marketing and messaging that encourages further sales to increase their lifetime customer value. Businesses who rely exclusively on cold customer sales already struggle because their sale acquisition cost is very high. Now think about Ford Motor Group, a company we all know. When you buy one of their cars, they try to ensure your experience is as class as possible so that when you upgrade your car or change it over the years, you come back to Ford. They then have to pay almost nothing for that second sale, whereas the first sale might have had an advertising cost, lots of conversations, showroom visits, sales team engagement, and more. The final principle is 7-11-4, and you won't actually see this in a marketing degree, but it is key. This suggests that customers may need around 7 hours of engagement, 11 interactions, and contact across 4 different platforms or locations before they build enough familiarity and trust to buy from you. I wouldn't treat those numbers as a fixed rule. Someone buying a £20 product might convert immediately, while someone choosing a solicitor, a new car, a marketing agency, they could research for months. Now, the important lesson is that the advert is rarely the entire customer journey. Someone might first see one of your videos, then visit your website, then search for your business on Google. They're going to go away and read your reviews and your case studies, follow you on social media. They might then receive some email marketing and later see a retargeting ad, and each interaction builds familiarity. This is why your marketing channel shouldn't operate as a completely separate activity. They should operate as an ecosystem. Your content, your website, your advertising, reviews, emails, sales process should reinforce the same positioning and messaging that you agreed in your strategy earlier on. So if you wanted to reduce all of this down into one simple marketing system, it would be this. STP tells you who you want to serve and how you want to be perceived. The 4 Ps help you create the right offer and the right customer experience. AIDA explains how you attract, convert, and retain customers. And the 7-11-4 principle reminds you that trust is usually built through multiple interactions rather than a single advert or a single piece of messaging, marketing, campaign work, etc. So before launching your next campaign, ask yourself, who are you targeting? Why should they choose you? And what is the clearest route from discovering you to becoming a customer? And what reason are we giving them to stay, return, or recommend us after the first sale? If you can answer those questions clearly, you'll already understand more about practical marketing than many businesses spending thousands of pounds every single month with no strategy. So subscribe for more practical advice. Let me know in the comments which of these models you would like me to cover in more detail, and we'll see you next time. That's your marketing degree in 10 minutes.